Harvey traffic, Cessna 3935 uniform taking off runway 33 for a southbound departure with noise abatement procedures. Harvey? I'll line up into a short field.
Okay.
Seeing how we're two big people in a small plane, there's trees at the other end. A little bit of a headwind, that helps. So plane's a rock star when it's cold out.
Oh yeah, isn't that nice?
Oh man. Yeah, 500 feet a minute.
Okay, so while we're climbing right here, let's just go ahead and review that adverse yaw. So just keeping everything as it is right now.
Yeah.
Just make some aggressive aileron inputs without doing your rudder. And you right there, you already see the nose going, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is all just adverse yaw. And that's only, I mean, how much aileron deflection did you put in there? A third?
Not much. Yeah, maybe a third.
Yeah. So now go full deflection with it. Look at that.
Oh wow.
Big time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now go full the other way. Look at that.
Oh yeah, just a big sweeping.
Yeah. That nose is just doing a big D.
Yeah.
And each one of those is just obviously a yaw input. And even in slow flight, I mean, everybody gets all worried about slow flight and having to be real gentle with it. As long as you're aggressive with your rudder, you can be extremely aggressive with the airplane in slow flight.
Oh, okay.
The slower you are, the more rudder you need, and you actually kind of need to lead it with a little bit of rudder.
All right.
So while we climb, tell you what, I got the airplane.
Your airplane?
So we're just going to keep working our way up this way. We'll do a couple clearing turns here.
All right.
But let me show you how when we reduce the angle of attack, unload the airplane to half a G, the airplane will not stall. And so here we are. We're just going to bring the nose up. And power on stall this way, you would expect this airplane to stall at about what speed?
Power on probably 40, 35 to 40.
Yeah. All right, so we're just going to bring the nose up. Half a G, we're just lighting the seat. We're below 40, it sure didn't stall, did it?
Right, in fact, the stall, yeah, you can tell the angle of attack changes because the stall horn goes off.
Yep, so we'll go just a little bit more this time. Look out to your left. Look to the inside. There's 20. Airplane was completely flying normally, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Unload to half a G and no airplane is able to stall.
Interesting.
And even when you do that, you'll notice that when you're unloaded to half a G, we don't have to do this one as severe. Look at the ailerons are still very effective because ailerons like low angle of attack.
Okay.
Rudder is a better control at high angle of attack.
Ah.
That's why in your stall recovery, the most important thing is always reduce the angle of attack, and then you can start to actually use the ailerons without creating a bunch of adverse yaw. You still want to follow it with rudder to keep it coordinated.
Right.
But if you do that big high AOA and throw it in, we've seen video and video of what it's going to do. All right, you've got the airplane, Scott. Any questions on that?
My airplane? All right.
Any questions?
No, that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't pull your power back to about 1900 RPM and just give me a straight ahead stall here. We won't really lose altitude. We'll just kind of maintain altitude because of our power setting. Just give me just a couple basic stalls. Good. The airplane looks like it...
Oh, we got traffic right there.
There you go. Looks like the airplane dropped off very even.
Yeah.
So, good power setting there. Let's do this one to the left.
Do it now?
Just do a stall to the left now. About 30 degrees of bank. Good. And let's do one to the right. kind of getting the impression it's a really honest flying airplane.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, let's go full power. Just keep climbing. All right, so that's that guy. Okay, so what I want you to do here is...
Northeast practice area 9537, Quebec is over Duval at 3000 southbound maneuvering stall.
Is we know that sustained AOA
area, Diamond 4,
in the stall,
Yankee, just east of Beaver Lake. En route to Ball City
sustained yaw will give us a spin.
3000, climbing 3500.
So let's just add a bunch of yaw right now. We're at fairly high AOA because we're at slow flight, but just slowly keep your climb coming.
All right.
And just slowly start feeding in full right rudder. Keep your wings level. Keep the wings level. So, it doesn't spin, does it? It doesn't stall. We're just yawing our way. Now go back the other way. Keeping the wings level as well. Good cross-control exercise.
Tim, where are you at? This is Craig.
Now we add a bunch of drag. We've lost our climb ability.
Right.
But the airplane flies just fine. We lean funny, right?
Doesn't really yaw that fast either.
No. Okay, good. And we're going to do the falling leaf and just see how honest this airplane is as it stalls.
Okay.
All right, so we'll just set up for a power off stall, and I'm going to let you just fly it. I will demo if you need me to after you do one, but I think you're going to do just fine. And so when it stalls, just hold it full aft yoke and just rudder's neutral. All the way back. Let go of the throttle now and just pull it back. So it's a pretty honest airplane, isn't it? It wants to turn just a little bit to the right. You're not all, there we go, get to idle.
1021 kilo, 3 miles east of Hood Canal Bridge at
Rudder's neutral.
4,000 feet
Rudder's neutral.
northwest front.
Okay. So now, look at this.
Kilo. Are you on the
We're pretty steady on the airspeed. It's starting to transition to a spiral now. See how the airspeed's recover? Recover.
537
Okay.
Quebec is at 3,000 feet, a mile north of
Let's climb back up.
Doing steep turns. Northeast practice.
Okay, so we pulled it all the way into the stall.
Right.
Stall horn was going, airspeed was nice and stable. The airplane, it never even actually dropped, did it?
No.
It never broke. It finally dropped off one wing, and as we did so, it kept just slowly going more and more right wing down.
Right.
To where it eventually got enough airflow over the tail due to the side slip that it went, you know what? I actually can...
Practicing area Sirius 9410 Romeo is northeast of Lake Samamis, climbing to 4,000.
I actually could fly again, and it started to fly, and we saw it transition into a spiral.
Oh, you could feel it
You
change,
could feel it.
too.
The speed was starting to pick up. You notice the airplane was starting to continue to bank, and that's normal. When you get more than 45 degrees of bank, if you just keep pulling straight aft on a banked airplane, it's going to try to steepen its bank.
Okay.
But it was very under control and benign, and as soon as you release the angle of attack, you then had the ability to easily roll out and recover, didn't you?
Yeah, I just fell right out of it, yeah. It was great.
All right, so this time what we're going to do, excuse me, we're going to do that same stall, but I want you to use your rudder to maintain wings level. What we're starting to see of this airplane is it's probably going to be a little bit of continuous left rudder.
Over the falls in Ball City, 4,000 feet.
And it's going to be pretty benign. Pretty easy airplane.
All right.
All right, so we can just do this going straight ahead. We've been clearing. So you have the airplane.
My airplane.
And we'll go full idle again. Hold it till it stalls, full aft yoke, and then just dance the rudders to keep that wing level. So we're fully stalled, right?
Yeah.
It's not spinning, is it?
No.
Okay, give me some left rudder for about a second, and then a right rudder. It's still not spinning, is it?
No.
Even though we're fully stalled with AOA and yaw. Pretty benign airplane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go ahead and recover. This airplane makes my job too easy. So we've just shown from the aerodynamic principles of what's required for a spin, that if we take any of those away, the airplane is not going to do something crazy, is it?
Right. And the Seattle
It was actually very benign, very predictable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're actually to the point now, progressing very nicely, that it's time to start introducing you to a one-turn spin.
Okay.
Okay. So we will start this off with a nice slow deceleration. It'll be power off. We'll do the first one to the left. When it stalls, we're going to smoothly feed in left rudder. We're going to keep the ailerons neutral. And when it goes through one complete turn, we're going to smoothly feed in opposite rudder.
Practice here, Thunder 10 Romeo is about 34 north of Carnation, 4000 turning southbound. We're maneuvering.
When it goes through one turn, let me rephrase that. We'll execute the pair recovery, so we'll ensure that the power is in idle. We'll ensure that the ailerons are neutral.
A mile north.
We'll put in opposite rudder, which will be right on the first one. Smoothly feed it into the stop. When we see the nose stop its yaw, we're going to neutralize the rudder, and then we're going to smoothly recover from the dive. Okay. As the nose comes to the horizon, we'll smoothly feed in power to efficiently start our climb back up for our next one.
You say you're about a mile north.
Altitude-wise, this is probably going to take somewhere around 700-800.
You said you're about a mile north of Carnation.
Well, let me rephrase that. We'll execute the pair recovery, so we'll ensure that the power is in idle. We'll ensure that the ailerons are neutral.
A mile north.
We'll put in opposite rudder, which will be right on the first one. Smoothly feed it into the stop. When we see the nose stop its yaw, we're going to neutralize the rudder, and then we're going to smoothly recover from the dive. Okay. As the nose comes to the horizon, we'll smoothly feed in power to efficiently start our climb back up for our next one.
You say you're about a mile north.
Altitude-wise, this is probably going to take somewhere around 700-800.
You said you're about a mile north of Carnation.
Would you like me to demo it, or would you like to fly the first one?
May as well get right into it.
Okay, I think you would be fine. If I had any doubt, I would demo it to you, but based on your confidence, your skill, and you've done a little bit of this before, I think you'd be just fine to go execute it on your own.
All right.
Now, the big thing when people start clearing for spins is they kind of, they clear left, they clear right. When you clear for a spin, you're looking right down there. That's where we're going to go. Okay, so 4,500 is more than enough for this.
All right.
So we go ahead and slowly just bring that power back. You might as well just keep the nose up.
This probably wouldn't be a good day to do any form flying anyway, a little bumpy.
Bumpy?
Oh, not too bad. We're sure done it and worse.
So full aft stick, left rudder. It hangs on, it hangs on, it hangs on. It's really hesitant.
Well, stop by your hangar on the way back.
All the way to idle if you're not.
All the way to idle?
Man.
All right, start to spiral, recover. All right, so power up. I got the airplane.
Your airplane?
Okay, so what we see? We saw it was very hesitant to go to the left, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. We ensured we were all the way to idle, which actually I thought we were, and usually a little bit of power will help it go left, but it was very hesitant to go that way, which most power airplanes want to spin to the left easier. We saw the airspeed was very slowly sitting at 60, and after about 3/4 of a turn, it started to pick up, and it really wouldn't go, would it?
Right, you could feel the G-forces all of a sudden.
So that one was starting to actually go spiral. So the way this wing is, there's obviously something over here creating a little more drag. So we'll see if we can't get it to go a little bit better to the right. Okay?
Right.
So I'm going to clear underneath this one more time here. I'm going to fly this one.
All right.
There's some techniques we could do on that left one to try to get it to go a little bit better.
Opposite aileron?
That is one. The other one is we'll initiate a little more aggressive deceleration and try to get it to go. There's a stall, full right rudder, full aft yoke.
There it goes.
There it goes. Look at that airspeed.
Wow.
Nice stall, one turn. Opposite rudder, rotation stop, neutralize the ailerons, smoothly recover from the dive. You see it all happens a lot faster than you can actually say it.
Wow.
You notice I'm only partial throttle, and we have to watch for the RPM limits on the climb.
All right.
That one was very predictable. That did exactly what we expected to do. Very nice and stable, one solid turn, wound up quite nicely. So that demonstrated a very classic one-turn spin with the pair recovery.
All right.
Any questions on what you saw, what the airplane did, or what I did with the airplane as I recovered?
Yeah, that actually seemed to wind up a little faster than I would have expected. But
yeah.
Again, that was my first spin, so I don't really know what to expect.
That's about fairly typical. That I wouldn't say that was excessively. We're doing these in about 500 feet, so that's working out kind of nice for us. That one was very predictable. That did exactly what we expected to do. Very nice and stable. One solid turn, wound up quite nicely. So that demonstrated a very classic one-turn spin with the pair recovery.
All right.
Any questions on what you saw, what the airplane did, or what I did with the airplane as I recovered?
Yeah, that actually seemed to wind up a little faster than I would have expected. But again, that was my first spin, so I don't really know what to expect.
That's about fairly typical. That I wouldn't say that was excessively. We're doing these in about 500 feet, so that's working out kind of nice for us. Up that exact same one.
All right.
So now when you recover on this one, feel free if you want to come in and take a glance at stuff, but really I want you to fly it mainly outside. As soon as you get the rotation stopped, and it's still my airplane real quick.
All right.
As soon as you get the rotation stopped, you can then immediately start the pull out a little more aggressive, and that was about a 1.5 G pull out. So we got 3.5 Gs we can work with if we want to. Don't have to be that aggressive, but realize that was a very benign one. And then you might as well just pretty much leave it idle until the nose is coming back up, and then you can smoothly feed in your power.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, you have the airplane. Go ahead and let's do one to the right, Scott.
All right. There it goes.
There, nice.
One.
Good one.
Oh.
So that's about a 2G pull. We're right at 120 mile an hour. Very nice. All right, so I got the airplane.
Your airplane?
All right, so good deceleration. It went a little bit slower, but the nose was a little bit lower, and you were a little slower bringing in a nice smooth rudder. So we saw that it initiated with less energy, so it took a little more time to get going.
Yeah, I was trying to watch for that full turn, and I think I waited a little bit long. It seemed like it did go beyond a turn.
Actually, I don't think so. I think you came in with rudder. I think the difference is I'm just applying my recovery procedures a little faster pace than you are.
Okay.
Okay. But you notice almost instantly when you put in the rudder,
it stopped.
It stopped. The nose tucks just a little bit. Yeah. And you're immediately able, I mean, it goes from 60 to 80 as soon as you step on the rudder.
Yeah.
It goes, dude, I'm done, and then a nice, easy, smooth pull out.
All right.
So, no issues there at all. All right, so now that was with the proper pair recovery. Remember, this is a process of going from an aggravated stall to a fully developed spin, right?
Yeah.
So this time, I'm going to demonstrate one, and I'm going to try one to the left again, and I'm going to use a stall recovery. So after one turn, I'm going to break the angle of attack. I suspect on going to the left, it's going to be very quick and effective. And then going to the right, I expect it's going to recover. It's just not going to do it as crisply and quickly as we saw using the pair recovery. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, boy, I noticed too, you can really feel the difference in the rudder pedals. Like the high, heavy pedal makes sense.
So we're going to be going, using the Olympics as a reference. Okay. This first one's going to be to the left.
Northeast brown. Correct.
Feel free to follow me through.
Yeah.
There's the full left rudder.
There it goes.
Stick forward. It instantly was able to recover. Now.
Oh, that was a few more G's.
It was just a longer duration. It was actually less G than what you pulled on your recovery. Oh. It was just a longer duration.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Felt like more. Wow.
So I actually started the recovery just, I want to do that one again. I missed a debrief point.
Oh, okay.
But we did finally get it to go that way. So we're going to use the rock pit off our nose as a reference there. Here we go. Let's try this again. Full left yoke, left rudder. There's one, recover.
Practice 10 Romeo, about 3 north of Carnation, 4,300, maneuvering stalls, returning northbound. Stay between Carnation and Duval, northeast 10 Romeo.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, we did one complete turn, and I fed the yoke forward. What would you describe once I fed the yoke forward?
It was all spinning so fast. It did seem to stop the spinning.
It did or did not?
It did.
It did? Did you notice how far the nose went, continued to yaw before it did recover?
I did not.
Okay. It was about 3/4 of a turn. Before it went, okay, I'm going to recover. So, did it recover?
It did.
It did. Was it as effective as using rudder?
No.
No. And if we were to continue this through multiple spins and get up more energy, it's going to take even longer and longer and longer and longer to do it. It's going to take more altitude to do it as well. Okay?
All right.
So, we're going to do one to the right. I'm going to demo this, and then you're going to fly one of each.
All right.
We're back to 4,500 feet. That's just going to stay that way because it won't recover. And let's look and clear more to our right. How you feeling?
I think I got a couple more of those in me.
Okay.
Things are settled back down again. That one was a bit much, but...
The big thing is keep your eyes out on the horizon.
All right.
Climb at a best rate. 80 still best rate for this airplane? 75?
Probably more about 65 to 70.
Okay. So we're just going to go get some altitude because we're going to need it at the end anyway.
All right.
And we'll just take a little breather here.
All right.
So what have we learned about this airplane about spinning left?
It doesn't really like to spin left. It takes takes extra effort to get it to go that way.
Extra effort. So it's got a little bit of unknown or variance in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
God, imagine that. How old is this airplane? 55 years old?
55 years.
And it doesn't behave exactly the way it was.
Yeah.
So this airplane we see likes to drop to the right,
yeah.
but it did there spin twice to us to the left. So we will we'll just kind of throw that in our mind going.
2,100 and sending last call.
All right, so we're going to do one to the right. We're going to do a stall recovery. We're going to break the AOA with the yoke instead of using rudder.
Okay.
And see how it recovers then.
Now, when I do that, am I going to neutral rudder or am I keeping the right rudder in?
I want you to neutral the rudder.
Okay.
Actually, no, you can keep the rudder in. Yeah, keep the rudder in and see if you can just break it with just the yaw.
All right.
And then as soon as the nose starts to come down, neutralize the rudder. You have the controls.
All right.
We're going to use the Olympics as our reference, and we are good to go.
All right.
Northeast practice 10 Romeo over Duval, southbound now 4,200. Maneuvering, stalls, northeast 10 Romeo. Northwest practice area, Mooney 1021 kilo, 2,300 feet, descending 2,000. Over Silverdale, departing Blowing Field, last call, Northwest practice.
A little too much on your push there. Okay. But that's why we empty things out. That's why we wear a good seat belt.
All right.
I got the airplane.
Your airplane?
Make sure you got everything tucked away you need to.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So what? It entered the spin nicely, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then it was simply a little bit too much forward stick input. And you saw that, yep, it quickly recovered, didn't it?
It quickly recovered.
Okay. Is that the first time you've kind of been a little bit negative G in the airplane?
That's the first time I've got negative G in this airplane.
Okay. All right, so was it obvious to you that it was starting to go negative? I assume you obviously felt that you're coming up, okay? What was your mental perception and what did you do to fix it?
In my mind, I think I felt my head on the ceiling right away.
Yeah.
And then I pulled back some. I don't know if I pulled back. pull back. I guess we recovered. I'm not sure if you put inputs in, but
I was coming to the controls with you. You had already started to put them in.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that's simply a matter of you moved it an X amount thinking this is what it would be instead of moving it until you felt what you wanted to feel.
Right.
Okay. And that is a matter of you haven't spent a long time of your career making those type of aggressive inputs and learning to fly by feel and visually. And so that's a very common mistake at a beginning phase.
And I think part of it is the spinning is still, the spin part is still a little disorienting to me.
Yeah.
And so I would definitely have a hard time knowing when I'd put enough elevator. I would have a hard time feeling that.
Yes. That is very normal.
Yeah.
At this stage, everything is happening kind of blazing speed for you. Meanwhile, I'm kind of sitting over here going, oh, okay, there goes the barn, and yeah, we're still at 60, and okay, there's one more.
Oop.
And I'll let you reset that as need be. And that is expected at an early stage in your training and experience. We need to.
I'm drinking from a fire hose, and you're sipping out of you got a sipping cup over there.
So, okay, so here we are. We're up at 6,000. So what we're going to set up for is we're going to do a nice multi-turn spin. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to fly the first one because I want you to be able to sit and just watch the world. I'm going to point things out. You're going to see me go, okay, there's one turn of the mountains. We're going to look at airspeed. We're going to go, there's two turns of the mountain. We're going to look at altitude. We're going to go, there's three turns. We're going to look at this.
See, I'm having a hard time seeing the horizon when we're in the spin. I'm out the windshield.
You're just used to going, you're not used to seeing a big face full of ground.
Oh,
realize when we're in the spin, we're only about this nose low.
Well, I feel like I'm seeing ground and then and headliner.
Okay.
But I'll try to focus on that more this time. Yeah, because the horizon definitely. I remember flying paragliders. That was the thing. They always say, just look at the horizon. Look at the horizon.
Yep.
And look where you want to go.
Okay, so we're going to use the Cascades as our reference.
All right.
Okay. A little bit of carb heat on for this one because it's going to be prolonged. All right. It's going to be a pair recovery after 3 turns.
Okay.
So 3 turns, we should be fully developed.
All right.
So it's going to be power to idle, ailerons neutral, rudder opposite, elevator, recover from the dive.
All right.
So, all right. You ready for that?
I'm ready.
Okay, so here we go. We've been clearing down below. Hold on. Got a cord hung up on something we don't want it hung up on.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here we go. Here we are, 6,500 feet. Let's go have some fun. Full aft yoke, 6,500. Okay, we're stalled. 1 turn. We're still stalled. 2 turns. We're still stalled. Starting to come out. Smoothly neutralize the rudder. Smoothly recover from the dive.
All right.
How was that?
That was interesting. I still, I would catch a little glimpse of the mountains every now and then. It's like
I will be honest, we're far enough back in this cockpit that you can't see the peaks of it. You can kind of see the bases.
Yeah, I was trying to look. That was definitely spinning around fast.
So look at this. We were down to 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
3 turns at 1,500 feet is all. So pretty nice, and the airplane winds up pretty darn well.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
All right.
Okay.
Deep breaths.
So as we finished 3, I started through the recovery, power to idle, ailerons were already neutral, opposite rudder. As soon as the rudder comes in, it quit, didn't it?
All right. Yeah.
I mean, it's very quick how quickly, once you go to the rudder, it recovers. And now, because it has more downward trajectory, we've got a little more energy stored up. It accelerates a little faster. It's a little more nose down, so it also accelerates a little faster. So you'll see, and I was trying to be very nice and smooth and gentle with the forward yoke and then the recovery. As soon as it quits yawing and that nose comes down, feel free to start back in with a little more aggressive pull than I did.
All right.
And you'll be even smoother on your airspeed. I mean, we have totally smooth air, so we're very good right now. But
all right.
okay. Or would you like to fly that yourself now?
Yeah, I'll give that a shot.
Okay. After that, you think you might be ready for a break?
I think I'll be ready for a break, for sure.
So you have the airplane.
My airplane?
Anytime you are ready, I am ready.
Okay. No. That was a spiral.
Okay, I got the airplane.
Your airplane?
All right, so.
Was I late with the rudder on that one?
You could just be a little quicker with the rudder, a little faster with the, just as it kind of gets to the horn, give it a little pull and a little faster rudder.
Okay.
And what it does, it kind of, it sets it into the stall a little crisper.
Yeah.
You were right. That one, you were still stalled, but it was starting to very slowly progress towards the spiral. I think that was a very good analysis on your part.
Yeah.
Do you know how many turns we made there? Approximately.
I'd say about one.
We were two.
Were we two?
You were two when you went, yeah, it's not quite doing it. And I'm watching this and I'm going, yeah, she's not quite going the way we want yet. And it was starting to slowly creep up. So it was, I think, going to transition into a spiral as well. Yeah. So I thought that was excellent assessment.
Yeah.
What you need to do on that recovery, though, you did a nice job. Okay, you neutralized the rudders, you went forward yoke, but don't pull out of a dive when you're in a turn.
Okay.
Once you push, roll wings level, and then pull out of the dive.
Oh, okay.
It does two things. It prevents asymmetric G's on the airplane, and, excuse me, and it allows for a more efficient straight pull. Get you away from the ground faster instead of climbing away from pull. Okay, so we're back up here high enough, and yeah, you have the airplane. Let's set that up again.
All right.
We'll go carb heat on too. Now kind of pull and step on it right now. There you go. That nose up and around. Good.
Okay, there's 1, 2.
Good.
3.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh.
Textbook, buddy.
Whew.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Take us for home.
Yeah. Home it is. Oy.
Very good.
On.